everybody would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and join us. All right, thank you. First up, we have the meeting minutes. I looked through them. I think it looked pretty good. Anybody have any questions or comments? Nope. So I'll make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you. Consent agenda, nothing on for this month? No. All right, so we're going to start with new grading permits. First up, we have Lancaster Avenue, Villanova University. And just so everybody knows, the overhead monitor is not working this evening. Ian has everything queued up on the laptop now. If you want to put your plans out for your own reference, but as long as we have all the plans and there's nothing new, he should be able to get everything up on the screen for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Sort of? So if you have any questions, Ian can scroll with you, or if you know how to use that.
Let's see here. Okay, good.
All right, so if you could just introduce yourself, tell us about the project. Thank you.
Mike Urban with Eustace Engineering. We are the civil engineers and landscape architects for Villanova University's tennis complex rehabilitation project.
There's a button there for the microphone.
Not sure where it is. Hello? Oh, there we go. You're welcome. Is that better? Okay. All right. Sorry, but yeah. So the next couple slides we're going to show you are going to show you what we are planning for the project. Let's see here. Okay, so the area, the court area in the blue, this is the proposed conditions. The wall that's existing in the back here is going to be removed, and we are putting a new concrete retaining wall, and that wall will be set about 1.5 feet beyond the base of the existing wall. So the court itself from here to here is only extending about 1.5 feet further. There's a large wall in the back. It's a block wall, has a large batter to it. So the wall that we're putting back up is a straight-faced wall, so we're gaining a lot of distance because of that. And what that's allowing us to do is provide a pedestrian area along this face of the wall here, so that they get a regulation-sized court, and then an area where pedestrians can walk so that they don't have to walk through the court areas while they're either practicing or playing. So with that said, the orange line that you see here is the actual limit of disturbance for the project, which is approximately 22,000 square feet. In the graphics for in red, which are the tree symbols, and the circles with numbers, those are the actual trees that we surveyed. So all the trees that you see here numbered, we provided a chart. We have 41 total trees that we were able to locate that are 6-inch DBH or greater. Out of those trees, so we provided the species and the diameter size. Of those trees, the ones that you see that are in with a yellow circle around those, graphic around those are the trees that will actually receive the township's standard chain link fence tree protection deed. And those trees that are in yellow that are getting the tree protection fence are all within that 25 foot of that limit of disturbance line. So anything beyond that 25 foot, we are not providing any tree protection. We are removing no trees. Every tree that you see here is going to be saved. And then I'll go to the next slide here, and this slide here is just more help with a little better graphic presentation as far as you can see how very little we are disturbing behind the wall. So again, this new wall, which is 1.5 feet closer to Harding's Run than the previous wall. The area that's shaded in green, this is the actual area that's going to be graded behind the wall. And then you can see here's our limit of disturbance line right here. And you can see any tree that is in red that is 6-inch DBH or greater. Those will, we don't have the graphic on here, but those will all be protected per the previous plan. But this was just to give you an idea to show you how very little disturbance and grading we are doing behind the new wall.
Is there any elevation change behind the wall, or are you keeping it the same?
There is. So at this corner, I think this is the highest corner. There's like a 13-foot drop there. So that corner is 13 feet.
But you're not changing the existing conditions?
No,
then?
no,
Okay.
no.
So you're not building up soil on the roots? or
No,
anything?
the existing wall was pretty much, we're putting the wall pretty much back at the same elevation as it was before.
Gotcha.
There's just been a lot of settlement in the asphalt. This is the wall itself that's there, the existing wall right now is in disrepair, and it's, doesn't look, very safe, so
Gotcha. And there's no trees coming out, right?
no trees.
No trees. And then there's existing courts there now?
Though these are, what you see here, these are the proposed courts, but there's 8 courts there now.
Okay.
Like I previously mentioned, the court area itself, the paved area, is only, the paved area itself is probably about 3 feet longer, but the actual outside of the wall, because of the type of wall that we're replacing, it's only 1.5 feet.
Gotcha.
So so the courts themselves right now are shifting north, planned north about like 2.5 feet or something like that.
Gotcha. And then the machines and everything, they're going to be coming in from a paved area, I assume?
That's correct, yes.
Do all the
So
work?
I think, let me go back to the previous slide. It shows more of the area.
So you're coming from the parking lot there?
So this is going to be the construction entrance right here. For them to be able to just get back here and do what they need to do for the construction of the wall. But there will be activity. They will be also using the paved area in here to have their laydown area and give us enough. This line right here represents the line that we need for excavation for the wall, for the new wall.
Gotcha. And is it, on that photo there, are you going underneath like the drip line? Like, looks like your construction entrance is right through the trees. Is that correct? Or am I seeing
It does
that
look like that, but yeah, it's just tall grass, weeds.
wrong? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. These are the only trees within that construction
Oh,
entrance.
that's grass up there. Sorry. Okay.
While you're on that slide, I noticed a bunch of ailanthus trees. They're a tree we want out. We'd love you guys to take that tree out, all those trees out. They're host to the spotted lanternfly.
Yeah, there's a couple in here. Polonias, they're definitely invasive trees.
But are you able to do any tree removal?
We were not planning to do any tree removals at all.
So James, where do you want to sit on that? Do you want these ailanthus to exist?
Well, in a perfect world, they would remove them.
But you see what's happening. I mean, they're spreading throughout this area like crazy. There's more than 8, I think.
No, it says 8 aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, the township took down the ailanthus at the Willows a couple years ago.
I mean, we could approach Villanova and ask them if they would do any, tree removals if they.
Yeah, I would make a recommendation to do it. I wouldn't base anything, the project off of that, but might be the right time to do it. I know Villanova does a lot of tree work up there.
Right.
now, so
Yes.
I don't know if you guys want to add that in, but I think it's just a recommendation.
Yeah, it could be a recommendation.
Do you have a recommendation of what you want to replace with?
There are trees that we wouldn't require a replacement tree for taking that tree.
Yeah, it's the lanternfly host tree or whatever, so it's a good tree to get rid of.
Yeah, yep. Duly noted.
Anybody have any questions or comments? Nobody? No? All right, seeing none, I'm going to make a recommendation. Oh, yeah, we should have public comment. Anybody public comment? Thank you, Kristen. Remind me next time too, please. Okay, seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve and just a recommendation maybe to have those trees come out while you're in the work area. Might be good for the campus. Do I have a second? All in favor? All right, great. Good luck with your project.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, nice to see everybody again.
Perfect. So, if you need to zoom in at the top, right?
Yeah,
scroll up and
control
down.
and scrolling should work.
Perfect.
Thank you. So, for anybody who doesn't know me, I'm Andrew Malmstrom with Site Engineering Concepts. We were the engineer who helped prepare the plans for a proposed garage and hardscaping improvements at 257 Beechwood. Currently, we're proposing one tree to be removed, kind of shown in the zoomed-in plan up here. There's an existing, I believe, a multi-stem maple tree. None of the stems exceed 6 inches. We had just included the tree to be removed just to be abundantly clear about what was happening. That's at least what our surveyors had
Gotcha.
identified it as. There is another existing, I believe, also multi-stem tree right next to it. On this version of the plan, we had not shown tree protection fencing. We were going to show, we have updated plans that I had brought tonight that show tree protection fencing along the edge of this patio. It will be tough to keep those roots alive, but it is the intent that we want to try to keep the tree if possible.
So you don't have the sheet with the tree protection, you're going to update it?
And we have it updated. I have it updated here as a hard copy, but. And we also added the tree removal table, just showing that we were under the maximum number of 6. That's also not on this plan, but on the updated plan.
So you're concerned that you'll have equipment and stockpile stuff on?
Within the root zone of that existing tree.
Why don't you guys think about mats, some kind of mat?
And we'll think there's going to be a proposed patio within that, near the drip line. I don't. This block here that's shown for that existing tree is kind of, I'm trying to circle it. There's going to be a proposed patio there, so they're going to evaluate when they go to dig. But
What size is the tree?
it is another multi-stem. There's a 6-inch stem, 4-inch, 3-inch, and 1-inch, which was identified by our surveyors. So technically would not need replacements if it ended up needing to be
Gotcha.
removed, but we're going to try to protect it.
Then you're coming in and out from the existing driveway?
That's right. That's right. And there's
soil being hauled away, or?
the intent's to haul away existing soil at the moment. And so we have a stormwater management system that's being proposed along the side here near a row of arborvitae. We're outside of those drip lines, and we're
Okay.
showing tree
And
protection there.
The tree
as well.
protection is up there?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, coming in and out, taking away soil. All right. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay, looks good to me. I'm going to make, public comment first. Anybody have public comment? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve. Do I have a second? All in favor? Cool, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, we have 325 Durham Drive, pool and patio. Hey, welcome. If you could introduce yourself and tell us about the project, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. My name's Chris Doherty. I work for Shock Group. I'm a civil engineer, help prepare these plans. So this project is a pool project in the ACDM section. The ACDM area is always pretty tight on impervious, so we're doing some swapping with impervious. Part of the plan is to remove an existing concrete patio in the back rear yard and also remove the front walkways. The front walkways, it's not that they didn't want them, it's just they're very cramped on impervious, so that's the only place that we really could see us removing some impervious. That's why they're coming out. They're made up of like a flagstone, like dry laid material. The idea was that they'd kind of be picked apart by hand, and then like light machinery would be in there. So we didn't originally think there was a need for tree protection around those 2 walnut trees by the paths. The township reviewing engineer did provide some comments that they'd like to probably see some tree protection there. So that's something that we would, we would add there. I'll get to that though in a few. So this is the removals. This is the proposed pool plan. Basically that rear patio that we saw on the first sheet is going to be replaced by a pool, like a round pool in the rear. Similar use of the property. Right now it's a patio. It's going to be a pool. And so this is the proposed condition. We are in Radnor's stormwater management calculation guidelines. You can take some credit for removals that are restored to grass in order to stay under the 500 square foot to trigger stormwater management. So we're also taking advantage of that as we're doing these removals. Those green areas are just areas that we're restoring to grass, and then part of the walkway we're turning into gravel right now is what we show. I'll just go to the tree protection plan. So our limited disturbance is shown in this red. One of the idea was that the contractors would use the existing driveway, drive down the hill, install the pool, and keep that limited disturbance tight into that backyard. One of the comments that we received from Gannett Fleming is they'd like to see us just outline that limited disturbance in the front where we are removing the walkway. And the other thing that they would like to see is, we'll show it in blue, just some tree protection around these 2 walnuts right here. And we're okay doing that, just showing that tree protection to protect those 2 walnut trees. We don't see any issue with these beech trees along the driveway. Sometimes they're in close enough range for equipment and stockpiling. Since they're really off to the side, we don't see them being affected by construction. If you'd really like to see tree protection on those trees, we could do that if that's something you'd like to see. But this is the plan right now. Right now, we're just planning to add tree protection around these 2 trees. No trees are to be removed. Our soil stockpiles in the rear of the property here. Any questions?
Yeah, where's the soils staying on site?
So the soil, the majority of it will actually be removed from the property. We're going to be stockpiling it in the back here and then trucking out anything that won't be evenly graded out. No grading within 3 feet will happen during this project.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody?
How close are those 19-inch beaches to the driveway?
So there,
Is the drip line over the driveway?
the drip line is over the driveway currently, correct? Yes.
So we probably would like some tree protection there.
Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable. So right here, looking at just doing a line of tree protection there.
Anybody else? Comments? Questions? No? All right, I'll make a motion to approve contingent upon the tree protection around the walnut trees in front and the beech trees along the driveway. Do I have a second? All in favor? Cool. Thank you. Good
Thank you.
luck. All right, next up we have 205 South Spring Mill, Lot 2.
Andrew Malmstrom with Site Engineering, back again.
Becky, you missed us.
So you have seen Lot 1 come through this year. This was part of the 201 South Spring Mill minor subdivision plan that was approved last year. There's no changes to the proposed tree removal that was proposed to occur within that original subdivision plan. And
So is this more of a
We're coming back for the grading permit
For the
for the
grading permit
house.
now?
so
Nothing has changed?
Nothing has changed.
Okay. And then no trees coming down and no more?
Nope.
Anybody have any questions, comments, Chris?
Yeah, I just have a quick question. There were trees that were remaining sort of on the right of way like right in between the two properties they were there, but now they're gone. It seems like they've been recently taken down.
I would have to confirm. I did bring the original subdivision plan.
Yeah, it's version control is very hard. But I just had a question about those.
Just for my reference. So I believe, so there were, between the two existing driveways, there were some, I believe, 2 6-inch maples and a 12-inch maple, right sitting within here that were proposed to be removed with the original subdivision. There was 2 6-inch maples and 1 12-inch maple tree that were within, I believe, within these, between the 2 proposed driveways that were proposed to be removed with the original subdivision plan.
So just to confirm, this plan that we're looking at right now, this is the original plan, or this is just the trees that you left or saved?
So this is right now what's shown on the plan is the trees that were proposed to remain within the existing subdivision plan. So there might have been some existing trees that had not been removed yet, but had been previously approved to be removed. Yeah, yes, I believe it's on this plan, and I have a note on this plan. We had a fee in lieu for both lots for the 27 required replacement trees from the existing, from the prior subdivision. So there was a fee in lieu paid for those trees back in 2025.
So there's nothing additional being,
Nothing additional being removed. We're just proposing to keep the same removals that were approved, that when this lot is constructed, those removals will occur.
Yeah, and Leah did confirm that the fee in lieu was received from before.
Perfect.
Anybody else? Well, I'll make a motion to approve. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have 875 Leslie Road, addition pool and driveway expansion. Good evening, Mr. Bailey.
Good evening.
Just introduce yourself and tell us about the project.
Hi, I'm Matthew Palino here on behalf of the applicant. We're adding a pool and expanding the driveway on an existing new construction home. And there's no trees to be removed. There's actually no trees to be protected either. It's a big open field, and there were no trees on it. It's a 2-acre site. There were no trees on it, and there's actually no trees even on within 10, 20 feet of the perimeters on neighboring properties. Yeah, because, yeah. And so it doesn't show any new tree protection because there's no trees to protect.
And you're here because you just added the
Yes,
pool
yes,
plan?
yes,
These are the correct.
yes, yes, that's it.
These 3 tabs, so the 3
Do you
Okay.
have a landscaping plan, just out of curiosity, to add some trees? Because we did drive by it.
Yes,
Yeah.
so the plan, obviously, if you saw the house, there's going to be landscaping done, but it's going to be minimal. The last house that we had probably had 150 trees on it, our prior house, and we now plant trees other spots. So I would prefer to plant trees for the township as opposed to put any trees on that property at this point, but we will. But it's going to be kept more like an open field as it always was. So that was the intent, to keep it looking like an open field. We wanted to have the least impact on what was there. That's the honest truth. So
Anybody else? questions, comments? Nope. I'll make a motion to approve, or first of all, public comment, anybody? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve. Second? All in favor? Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, good luck. Might not need a pool this year. Okay, next up is Ivy Lane, new pool and patio. One Ivy Lane. Anybody here for that? Thanks, Ian.
All right, Chris Doherty again with Shot Group. This is another one of our projects over on Ivy Lane. Ivy Lane is an older subdivision, maybe about 10 years old. This house specifically is about 10 years old. It's the corner lot on the corner of Scott Lane and Ivy Lane. This project entails a pool again, and the current survey does not show all of the trees that exist on the site right now because they were newly planted trees. The only trees that are there now are prevalent with the subdivision are these 2 maple trees that were 6-inch maples planted as street trees. There also are 2 other street trees actually that exist now up here that are not shown on our plan. Let me see if I can highlight these for you. So there's 2 more street trees that actually do exist right now over here. So there's 4 street trees with the associated subdivision. That was the only required planting at the time for this lot. The homeowners did do a significant amount of plantings. It actually looks beautiful right there if you were to pull it up on Google Earth. It's just they're trees under 6 inches, so we were not required to locate those and put them on the plan. The idea is to protect those trees and keep them. The homeowners like them. It looks really nice. And then
So,
moving
I'm
to
sorry, all the trees that are on the property are under 6 inches, you're saying?
correct, except for the 4 street trees that I mentioned.
Gotcha.
Yep. So this is the proposed pool in the rear yard, just expansion. And let me get to the ENS plan here. So currently the trees are more or less perimeter trees. If you were to pull up on Google Earth, I did bring just a quick screenshot of the property from Google Earth. I was expecting the projector to work. So there are a good amount of trees on the lot, like you can see. They are planning on keeping them, providing, the typical Radnor chain link fence is something that didn't seem necessary for the project. They are preparing to keep them, protect them. They're younger trees. So we were planning on just having our silt socks kind of being the barrier so that the contractor would know when to stop grading and not affect those trees.
All right, thank you. And you're coming off the driveway, it looks like, to do,
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we're going to be coming across down the driveway and around and then doing all the work back here. The trees really kind of exist on this perimeter.
right?
And then this silt sock where it's shown now will probably have to be shifted up a little bit. It's going to be field adjusted around those trees. But the intent is to keep everything the way it is now. And then even if, they want to keep their property nice, so they're going to
All those trees were
maintain it.
planted when the house was, when the development was
It,
done?
it was not. So that was one thing I checked to see if it was part of a landscape plan. Some of these subdivision plans are wooded lots. They require extensive replacements, as you know. This was an open field
Oh,
out
no,
there.
Yeah, sorry about
so,
that,
yeah.
They planted all these
They planted them
afterwards.
voluntarily, yeah,
Gotcha.
not as part of the subdivision plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one thing. If they were part of the subdivision plan, we'd be looking to definitely protect them and replace them potentially.
So quick, just to clarify, so the 2 6-inch maples that are on the plan, they seem very close to the driveway, which is sort of the ingress, right? So wouldn't they require tree protection fence, both?
Yeah, if you think they should have them. I don't think they will, because I don't think a triaxle is gonna go off the driveway here, because once the triaxle hits that foot on the side, they're gonna crack it all.
Okay,
And they're not gonna wanna repair it.
all right, I just wanted somebody
Yeah.
else's opinion. No, that's good, thank
I
you.
don't think it's necessary. I would just say it should be updated with the other trees on the two street trees on the other side, on Ivy Lane. They're not on the plan, right?
Oh, correct. Yes, yes. I noticed that today. There should be a tree here and a tree here. You can see that on the aerial. Those are
Just
part
for
of.
future
Yeah.
reference, if they're ever needed, it should be on there. Since
Okay.
they are 6 inch, you said?
You know, I actually don't know what size they are. That might be why they're not there, but I know they're
Yeah.
part of the subdivision.
Well, if they're not 6 inch, and they won't
So-
need it, but if they are, you should probably put it on there and amend the plan.
Okay.
Anybody have any?
I just had, when we reviewed the application, there were blanks for cubic yards of dirt being removed and number of trees being removed. So just to confirm,
Yeah.
are they both 0?
So the cubic, I believe it's cubic dirt to be removed. Yeah, it probably would be about like the 100 cubic yard realm with this pool excavation, something like
And
that.
remaining on site or being taken off site?
It's going to be a little bit of both. They're going to keep some on site, but probably truck the majority of it out. There's some minor grading that we're showing, probably just backfill. So I would actually say it's majority being taken off site.
I can't see you guys keeping much of that on site.
Yeah, I think it's majority off site. It's going to be trucked off site.
So that should be updated. Yeah. Anybody else? Comments, questions? Okay. Okay, I'll make a motion I'm going to do a public comment first. Sorry, no public comment. I'll make a motion to approve contingent upon placing the 2 street trees on Ivy Lane on the plan if they're 6 inches or larger, and to update the application with
Update the
the
application.
cubic yards coming out or staying in.
Yep, sorry about that. We missed filling that out. All right.
Does it sound good, everyone?
Yeah.
Do I have a second? We have a second? All in favor? Approved. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much.
Good one. Thank you. Okay, that was Ivy Lane. Next up, we have Midland. You're back
Yep,
again.
I'm back again. Last one.
Go for it.
So Andrew Malmstrom with Site Engineering Concepts. I'm here representing the owner for 308 Midland. The owner's proposing to extend their driveway and construct an accessory detached garage in the rear yard, as well as a proposed in-ground pool. In order to manage the stormwater for this, we did not have great infiltration test results, so a rain garden is proposed in the southwest corner of this property. Exactly.
Then planting plastic in the ground. Yeah, I love it.
Exactly. So that'll be planted in accordance with our details and kind of recommended plantings for rain gardens in the bottom. We are proposing tree protection fencing along pretty much all the property lines, and I may have to update our plan to add some tree protection along this driveway here by the entrance. But then there's tree protection on the western property line. There's some existing mix of pine and deciduous trees that we'll want to have protected from the grading from the rain garden.
How deep are you going down in the ring? Just curious.
So currently, we're proposing to go about 1.5 feet to 2 feet, trying to keep it fairly shallow and broad with some plantings in
Anyway, is there a planting plan for? Are you planting any trees back there? Or
it.
anything?
We currently have a small planting schedule for the rain garden. It'll have 8 trees and 18 shrubs in the bottom of the rain garden.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, and then access is coming off the driveway.
That's right.
The soil is,
This majority of the soil will be trucked off-site. There'll be some minor fill right here for the driveway, but a majority of the soil will be taken off for the in-ground pool and the rain garden excavation. We will be putting some soil, amended soil in the bottom of the rain garden, so the
Right.
plants have a good chance.
Anybody have any questions, comments? 3 Sundays to be removed, yeah. Okay, public comment? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve. Do I have a second? All in favor? Cool, good luck, thank you.
Thank
See you next
you.
month. Next up, we have 1075 Eagle Road. Mr. Lambert, Mr. Stewart,
Good evening.
welcome.
Let's see if I can get the right one here. I had all sorts of plans to share that we're going to be able to show new and old and everything else, so we'll limp through here. So Rob Lambert, Site Engineering Concepts. I have Patrick Stewart with Stewart Associates, the landscape architect. Some of you on this board remember this project from about 5 years ago. So this project started in 2020 through the approvals. It is a continuing care facility, which is from the ground up on the old portion of Valley Forge Military's campus. Over that time, we've gone through lots of different approvals. We went, some of the committee members here and the Planning Commission and the board have all walked the site before we had the project approved. And went through those approvals. We broke ground about 6 months to a year ago. During that overall time, meeting with various constituents, architects, designers, we modified the plan. And so really we're here tonight to talk about the modified portion of the plan. So overall, let me go to let me see here, this was the, back one, I'm sorry. So we looked at the modified plan. If you look at the originally approved plan that they're currently constructing, the predominantly from what is a kind of a traffic circle out to Eagle Road is predominantly the same. There's some minor modifications out front, but nothing of substance. From this point, there was no traffic circle before. When we met with designers and actually first responders, they really wanted a full loop around this site. And so now the driveway actually goes all the way around the perimeter of the buildings. And in order to achieve that, we needed to go over some steep slopes. We got relief for that recently from the zoning hearing board. There was a small band of steep slopes at about this location that we had to disturb. So we got the approval for that. What we also did is really created a boulevard entrance. So once you get up to the circle and then you go to the main drop-off, it was direct. The former plan, and again, I had these, the plans to share. The former plan, you really came up the side of the building and had to turn to get to the entrance, and really just trying to make it a nicer product, creating a straight driveway up to the main entrance and the circle. And so the personal care, memory care building, which is on here on the right, was formerly further over where the parking is. And so everything kind of shifted around to do that. There was a band of man-made steep slopes. There was sorry about that. There was a swimming pool in this location. There were tennis courts and basketball courts up in this location. There was a small band of slopes, so we actually got relief to disturb those slopes. So that was really the reason that we're back, is to go through the modification where the PCMC building is and this loop driveway. We are removing some trees. As many of you may remember, a lot of the trees on this site were in terrible condition. I believe the reference is widowmakers. They were fully dead, standing up, many trees. I've been out on the site 2 different times. One was before we started the project, or right when we started the project, and there was a tree down through one of the houses that was down in the kind of the lower portion of the site. I happened to be out there about 2 months ago, and there was a tree through one of the other houses. So you can see that, you know, the trees were declining. This is really a rejuvenation of the site for the next 50 years. We are providing all the replacements. I'll let Patrick go through that when we talk about the actual trees, but
So,
that's
Rob,
the overall project.
Just a quick question. So the one we approved, they didn't have that driveway going around the back.
Correct. The driveway stopped at more or less a cul-de-sac in this location.
Yeah.
And
then the township or?
And then just going back and forth with designers talking about access, where your deliveries are coming. Did you want them coming all the way through the site? For emergency access, first responders like the idea of actually having to be able to go all the way around all of the buildings and have full access. As you can imagine, this does have some emergency services that need to attend, and then due to the nature of the use, you do also have a gurney door that you want to kind of tuck into a discrete location.
Gotcha. The reason I was asking was because I'm wondering if, I know it was approved before, we do have a new ordinance since it was approved with the percentage. I don't know if it would even matter, but.
Patrick has all the
You would
numbers.
say-
I think
okay.
we're well under the
The
percentage.
percent, okay, gotcha, cool. That's all.
All right, so on that note, I'll turn it over to Patrick.
Good evening.
And Patrick, we're not going to be able to
I
get that
know.
up.
I need it because I can't remember anything anymore. So,
No problem. Same with me.
so as Rob mentioned, the tree removal for this amended final plan that we came in for approval, we tried to rev cloud those areas on the landscape plan so that it was pretty clear what was being changed from the original approvals. So we have 35 trees coming out as part of this amended final plan, and we're required to put in 83 replacement trees, and a portion of those have to be, 40 of those have to be canopy trees. We're providing those. We're also providing, if you recall, back in 2022, when we got this originally approved, we proposed an area of reforestation, which would be on the northern west property boundary. There's a stand of mature trees in that area that have severe gaps in the canopy that were caused by trees failing over the years. So we worked with Mr. Hoshback to come up with a detail for how we could protect that area. Instead of doing the tree shelters and trying to keep the deer out, we're actually going to fence that entire area. It's like 1,800 linear feet of deer fencing. And then we're going to plant a number of forestry-grade whips in that area. And the benefit of that was we were able to diversify the species that we're able to put on the project. It's hard to find some of these species, these native species, in 3-inch caliper, as you probably know. So that really gave us an opportunity to do something unique here and really think about the future and really take a canopy that's degraded and declining and there's no regeneration because of the deer through this part of the township, and really, focus on that area and do some restoration with some whips. So we have that area. We also, the new amended area is 83 new replacement trees. So at the end of the day, I think the number is, put my phone down. It's 356 total replacement trees when this project's done. And just for magnitude, Jim, you had asked a question about percentage. With the prior approvals and this new 35 trees that have to come out, we're basically looking at 28% of the trees to be removed on the campus, and then 72% are going to remain. So there's a significant number of trees that are going to remain. Yep.
Can you go through the plan list for the new?
Yeah, and actually, I wasn't before you, but Rob or one of his associates was before you in 2025 for a grading permit. At that time, you had asked us to get rid of the American Beach from our plant list, so we carried that change through on this plan, and I believe we used hackberry, Celtis, in lieu of the American Beach. But we have red maple, sugar maples, sweet birch, mockernut hickory, red bud, common hackberry, black gum, hornbeam, London plane tree, white oak, chestnut oak, willow oak, and American basswood. So we have a pretty good palette.
What page is that on? I'm sorry.
It's L9.00. It's 29 of 34.
Are you able to just magnify the page a little bit more? Zoom
Yeah.
in?
Ian, can you put on that page?
Yep, here, I got it.
Thanks, Rob.
I don't see the list here.
This one.
Yep.
And could we have Mr. Lambert give us a scientific name of each one of those trees, please?
There we go.
So the
And how
plant's
many large canopy is there that we're supposed to?
110 on the original approvals, and then there's 40 on the new amended final plan. So there'll be 150 large canopy trees.
Oh, and you have them in that box there, cool.
Yep. And then the whip schedule, the forestry grade whip schedule is below the plant schedule.
Right, and nothing's changed with that? That was
Similar,
from the
yeah,
last.
yep, yep.
Gotcha.
And nothing changed on the fence detail, right? It's still the 8-foot-high
Yep.
welded wire fence with round pressure treated?
Correct. Yep, and that details on the next sheet, 30 of 34.
So could you repeat again, of the 273, you were going to replace how many additional to the 273?
So the current amended final plan that just came before you, there's 35 additional trees being removed, and that triggers, per your calculations, 83 additional replacement trees.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And
Can you show us
Patrick,
the worksheet? I'm sorry. I think it's the tree replacement worksheet. I think it's up at the top right. I think it's cut off, just so we can see it. I think it's just go up a little bit. Oh,
Oh. There it is. Sensitive mouse, sorry.
it is.
There it is.
Thank you.
Is that, yeah, that's bigger on the screen. It's tiny on this laptop.
and then with the plan list I saw that you had on the last page, 43 of them are going to be whips again.
Yes.
Is there any way you could get in some larger trees, or are you pretty much full on the property?
I mean, we could look at it. The boulevard change presents some opportunities. We're at a point, we've looked at the courtyards, like there's, at this level of land development, we don't really focus on what's gonna go in the courtyards. We generally know impervious and things.
Right.
But we've been working with Greg and his team and trying to figure out what amenities are gonna go in those courtyards, and part of that, there are gonna be trees that go into those courtyards. I don't know, I wouldn't say we wouldn't wanna use large oak trees and sugar maples and things like that, but there are other trees that I think are permitted per your code, like red buds and things that we probably could incorporate into some of those designs. So if that's the direction, I'm sure we could figure out some homes.
Yeah,
for-
I think it was a great idea what you guys did with the
Yeah.
existing forest area.
Yep.
I mean, I think that was really going to help the canopy and continue to help it. But if we can find some areas and cut down the, in that new calculation, cut down the whips and find some
Sure.
other trees that are a little bit better established to plant in there, I think that would be better.
And candidly, Rob talked about how bad some of the trees were. There's areas now that some of the clearing has been done as the entrance, you'll see like there's a few dead trees that are probably need to come out that are like declined since we did this project 4 years ago, So I think there's probably some opportunities to, that we didn't anticipate 3-4 years ago.
So do you think you could, you have 43 whips, could you do like, split it up to do 20 and 23 whips?
Sure.
Would you guys think that's good, or any thoughts on that?
And maybe those 20, I would suggest we look at maybe in the courtyard area spaces.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a combination of some canopy, maybe it's a combination of some understory.
Is there trees going down by the entrance?
There is. We did a design for the entrance. If you've driven by it, you'll see the walls have been blocked up and the grading's done. They're going to get faced. There'll be signs. There'll be a new alley of trees along the roadway. There's going to be a ton of perennials and grasses. We really spent a lot of time figuring out how that entrance should be, and it's going to be spectacular when it's done.
Somebody had sent an email about the front being all cleared. I did point out that I think there's a not septic, but a stormwater in there, right? So you can't plant there, obviously.
There's actually there's room right behind the fence that exists out there today that we have space to get some oak trees along there. We were thinking of using oak along there.
Yeah, so I think, so the 40 large canopy, and then out of the 43 whips that you proposed, I would say do 20 of a 2-inch caliper, and then use 23 whips, if you have the room for
Yeah,
it.
I'm sure we could figure that out. Yep.
I have just one clarifying question.
Sure.
You said it's 83 replacement trees. trees, but the application says 84. You are planning on 84?
I don't know, my plans say 83, maybe.
Doesn't it say replacement trees equals 84?
Oh, it's the table below that's got the revision cloud around it,
Oh, I see.
yeah, total replacement trees 83, it's 23, 4, and 8. '84 was the number for the last approvals.
I could be moving into this place.
When is it going to open?
I hate whips. Yeah, hide the whips, because I just don't like the way they look.
Yeah, they're going to go in an area that's a wooded area today.
Okay.
But there's no understory, there's no regeneration. So, we had walked it with John years ago, and, that was a really opportune area to do something unique here and really think about the future and, establishing a canopy that you couldn't go into that area and plant 3-inch caliper trees. You would disturb root zones of existing trees. So it's a unique area. I think, it's going to be a really nice amenity for the community too. We talked about maybe some walking trails and things like that for the residents in the future there. So, educational opportunity. Yep.
Okay, public comment, anybody? Seeing no public comment, I'm going to make a motion to approve contingent upon trying to reduce the number of whips from 43 to 23, and then getting some other 2-inch or 2.5-inch caliper trees on the property. I think that makes sense. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Good luck, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All righty. That takes care of that. Yeah, very good presentation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Discussion about this, and I'm not in. I can't hear you, James. Sorry, my thing's not on. Old business, we have 6A, Improved Shade Tree Commission website, and I'll hand this off to Kristen or Eugenia.
I'll just do a quick sort of update of where we are and a little bit of how we got here, although I might need some help with that because I'm not sure of how we ended up here completely. So right now, there's the Township landing page. When you click on Radnor Shade Tree Committee, there's a landing page. And the content that we have on there, I don't know if you have laptops or phones, there's some links, but there's also some sort of just PDF-looking things on there that make you scroll down a long way. It's hard to find the link to the second independent radnortrees.com website. Now, I don't know the history of when that site was created. I know that it was managed by a former committee member, and we use it right now because it allows us to update it on the back end ourselves, and we can hyperlink to different things. So I think what we have to just maybe decide is how much do we want to rely on the Township landing page? Is it realistic that we just use that to provide all the things we want to provide? And then if so, I don't know the operations for that. I don't know how that happens. So maybe some clarification from the township over there on how, for example, the EAC seems to have a very robust landing page with a lot of links and a lot of good content. So is that something we should strive for, to try to just have the landing page of the township be a little better and include more of the things that it doesn't currently include? Do you want me to, I can pull them up from there. Do you want me to do that? Or you're all familiar with them? Okay.
I think architecturally, you want to have one site for the residents to go, people to go. But it doesn't have the information that radnortrees.com does. So it's like, I think using the township's website and then having links to the data that we can provide, whether it's beech tree disease or volunteering or whatever, is the best way to go. It does require a dependence on the township, though.
Right.
So that's Ian and Molly would have to agree to redo their site and give us access to link all the information that we want the township to have, the residents to have.
Okay.
So you're saying kind of combine it
Yeah.
to one page. I agree, and I think this was, as you said, done by a past member, and we only have a 5-year term. You can do 2 terms, so there's going to be new people coming in all the time. So I think it's easier to keep it on one site that the township can control, and we can recommend to put different items on if they're able to. Does that make sense?
Can I ask, how difficult is it to update the website? Because that was why you wanted to have the Radnor trees, is because they were not responsive to upload to like how.
I don't think that was the,
No.
I think the past board member was a computer wizard, and it was easier for him just to knock it out and get it done. So it does take time probably for the township to get it done. But there was somebody there to run it and continue running it, right?
Yeah, it was a timeliness thing. Like if we wanted to say, we've got bare root trees, residents, please register, or we're having a volunteer event, please volunteer, we would have to go through the township and get them to put it up on the township site. Sometimes that took too long, and it kind of cramped our style in getting the bare roots in the ground and volunteers.
Yeah, and before we started doing PHS, we only did like 50 trees. It was called the Big Tree Program. And so it was, the township handled that, I believe. But then we started getting into hundreds of trees. So, like you said, it was a timeliness thing.
And now we're looking for like 50 volunteers, 40 volunteers at a time.
So I guess my question is, given that problem, unless we know that it's going to be resolved, do we want to even consider having a link to Radnor trees still exist?
I think the problem is we need somebody to run it, right?
I'm going to jump in here. I think my feeling is we're Radnor Township Shade Tree Commission, and we should, our website should be under the umbrella, this is my feeling, of Radnor Township, the same way planning and EAC and other ones have it. If I was a resident and I had questions or needed to know something or wanted to find something out, I would go to Radnor Township. I wouldn't go to maybe what was necessary in the past, but is, and I say this in the nicest way, a rogue site. It'd be, we are the township. We should all be under the township website. In speaking to Ian a couple of weeks ago, he has said, yes, things can be put up in a more timely basis for what we need. I also think, as I've said before, it is a website that really needs to be robust, not just ordinances and events, but, all sorts of other things that we could add, classes that are coming up, seminars that are coming up, information that we just find about XYZ tree, and everybody who has one should be aware of it. So I think it is my opinion that having 2 websites is redundant and unnecessary. And let's just have one that belongs to Radnor Township, since we are Radnor Township, and make it a robust site, fill it out. And I also feel strongly about having the township put things in, because I feel that anything other than ordinances and, very black and white issues, anything we want to put in should probably be reviewed by Molly, who's head of communications, and/or Ian, so that it's the same tone, it's the same tenor as every other article and every other website. I mean, there should be a continuation of how it all sounds. I'm sure the township has a branding, a marketing tone they like to have, and so it should be approved, or, you know, just put past each township, you know, Ian and Molly for their approval first. So my feeling is that we can all pull things and, you know, suggest we put this in and try and put this in, and, you know, weeks ahead, months ahead, put in our schedule for events, and let the township deal, one person, one entity, of which we are part, deal with it, not just sort of rogue people adding things here and there. That is my feeling. Streamlines it and ensures that we're following what everybody else is doing here in the township. That's all I have to say.
I agree, Eugene. I think it makes sense. Obviously, we just got to work with Ian and Molly to hopefully get things done.
Yeah, I mean.
It's going to be tough. I mean, they have other things to do, so we just got to work with it.
Well, the EAC comes up with, they've got a really robust site that I think they put in,
Yeah,
that EAC doesn't put in, that the township puts in.
The only thing we just have to really think about is, and I'm not going to be the best person to do this, but how to do the sign up for the fall and spring tree giveaway. Frank, you might have some thoughts on this.
Yeah, Kristen helped me here. I think Seth has offered to, but the most difficult thing to do is residents registering for a tree. Because we only have so many, it's just complicated. And Seth has offered to help to do that.
Excuse me.
Getting volunteers to set up, sign up, the existing site handles the volunteers, handles the waivers, everything's all automated, nothing has to change on that.
I think it depends on what is the township using for forms, because we're using Google Forms. I mean, the website itself isn't necessary to still use the Google Drive and then the forms and the spreadsheets and everything else, right? That's more back-end stuff. So, and that's already working fine, to your point.
It
Like,
is.
we can continue that. It's just when we have something, I mean, we could ask Ian if we have maybe a meeting and say, how do you handle registrations? I think they have their own registration program. I mean, you sign up for classes or whatever. Or do we just keep it separate, and then we can just click on the link from the main page, click here to volunteer, right? And we could keep the back end the same.
Yeah, if you look at, like, here's the environmental one,
I'm sorry.
and you see how they have.
To say something. Did you want to cut in, Ricky, about
Yeah,
that?
what I would suggest is we kind of keep this
Sorry, Kristen.
topic off. Like, this is a off, you know, private conversation. So I would suggest that we reach out to Molly and ask for a meeting to be set up with whatever representatives you deem necessary. And since she handles that, I'm sure she'll bring in Ian, and that way we can all work as one. This is. Yeah, if you wanna, when you reach out, copy me on there.
I actually just called, but I guess I'll send an email now.
Yeah, just so I know, so if I can help
Yeah.
on the back end.
Absolutely, that would be great,
'cause
and I
there's-
completely agree with you.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, you know,
Yeah.
inside the township, and that's why it's kind of good to, you know, copy some of the other,
Yeah.
you know, department heads so that we can kind of, because this is part of my responsibility as Public Works Director. So if there was an issue here with Shade Tree and maybe I didn't know that you were trying to get in touch, I could kind of help from my side too, to make sure we're all moving as one nice cohesive family.
Thank you, Ricky. I did cut off Kristen, I'm sorry. Do you want to?
Thank you. I mean, I think that's awesome. I would love to have that meeting. That'd be great. Who should set that up? Or Eugenia, did you already start with Molly?
Well, she never returned my phone call, so maybe you'll have better luck. You want to try and set it up? Totally up to you.
No, not necessarily. But
Hey, Ricky, could you set up a call with Molly
Yeah.
and an email with Molly and?
Or
Yeah.
even
And,
maybe even a Zoom or something would be easy for some of us, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Is
Does
there-
anybody want to be
Yeah, is
part of this
anybody in
to
particular who
help
wants
out?
to spearhead?
Tim, Kristen, and
You got the name?
for, Okay, so
Okay,
you'll
Miss
send
Leah-
out an email to somebody
And we-
and,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Ms. Leah wrote down the names of everybody who just raised their hand, so I'll make sure they're copied on there, and we'll get something set up.
perfect.
Thanks, Ricky.
You're welcome.
Thank you and sorry.
I'll be very quick. I just would like to get this into the minutes. I do have a PowerPoint, but I don't have to go up there to do it. It's really quick. We got a $10,000 grant from PHS for repair at the Willows. John Hosbach, James, and Steve Ledgerton and I did a walkthrough yesterday because we wanted to start the project. So we're doing a project plan right now to start in June, removing invasives, and then later on in the year, actually planting bushes and water-loving trees. Alders, I believe, was one of the ones on the list. So that's happening. We also applied for a $4,000 grant from Giant Foods, and my idea was to use that to continue the Milwaukee forest reforestation, and that can fund bare root trees in November. And then just another quick update. We applied in January for the Governor's Award for Environmental Excellence. We should get a word on whether we won, or we're one of the people that won that in June. So that'll be another. And I don't know where the plaque is from the last one we had, Ricky.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Frank.
The plaque from the 2024 award, do you know where that is?
I do not. I do not. I mean, I'm sure I know where it is, but I can't picture what it is to know where it is.
An environmental award gave us a plaque made out of wood.
But I mean, where do we
Is
get
that
it? You gotta
irony?
give me some more information.
So I think Frank and Seth went up to
To Harrisburg.
Harrisburg for the celebration or whatever it was. Did you guys actually have a plaque?
Yeah,
And
yes.
did you bring it back with you?
Yes, we did.
Where did you give it? Who
Who'd
did
you
you
give
give
it
it to?
Seth.
Okay, so we should go to Seth and see.
Wait, hold on. So you just asked me where it was, and
All right, so Seth.
I thought Seth was supposed to give it, I thought it was supposed to hang on the back wall here, tell you the truth.
I
It
mean,
could be.
I seen in a magazine a picture of his house, and I thought I saw it on the wall.
It might be outside, hanging up somewhere. Probably in the wall, right in
Frank,
front of us.
that, if we win that comes with a cash award too, or just the honor? Just the honor, okay.
Just lunch. And then when is the, June 24th? So we would have another meeting, but is there anybody, Frank, do you want to go up to Harrisburg? All right, we'll figure this out then. Great. I'm sure Ricky doesn't want to take it home with him. Thank you, Frank, for the update.
Great job, thank you.
The deadline for the grant, when does that have to be done? There's a deadline, that November, is it, or September?
We're supposed to complete the scope of work by November of this year.
Gotcha, okay.
And
Perfect.
I put a call in to the guy that's running it from Delaware County and tell him what we're planning on doing to make sure we're compliant with whatever the grant requirements are.
Okay, and just to add on to this, Jennifer Santora, an old member, might have some students for the fall planting, but also in September. So if we can get things together and if there's an opportunity there, we can call on her and her students, right?
So can I ask a question? So Frank, the riparian planning will not necessarily be the same day as our usual November PHS planning?
It does not need to be,
Okay,
because we could do it like the 18th and still be compliant.
yeah, okay.
But
So it might be two separate plannings.
I guess one question that comes up, John, if we do 3 mowings to get rid of the invasives, we talked about June, September, when would the third one be? Following spring. So we could plant as soon as September? Okay, yeah, so we're in good shape.
It could,
All right. Okay, that takes, anybody else old business? Want to talk about Bimini? No? Okay. All right, new business, oh, that's on the new business, the volunteers from Villanova and Jen's offer. So we will keep that in mind, and I'll get in touch with her and let her know we would appreciate any help. All right, next up is hazardous trees. Anything, John, on the hazardous trees by residents or by the township that you want to point out?
No, it was actually just basic. There wasn't that many this year. It's actually got some trees, which is great.
Could you tell me who was going to be threatened by that 2-inch cherry?
So the problem is those people kept on calling about that tree where it was going to fall.
Are you serious?
Absolutely, 100%.
Thank you.
I assume it was in the right of way or something? I gotcha. All right. Next up, public participation. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. I was glad to meet some of you at the Willows planting a couple weeks ago.
Yes, I wasn't there, but thank you for helping out. I appreciate it. If you could just introduce yourself and.
Object the thing there, but I did bring some pictures tonight. So I'm Ron McGilvery, a resident of Radnor, I live on Bellevue Avenue. And I know that I've been here a couple times, but it seems to be some mix-up. We couldn't get on the schedule this topic because I think it was mixed up with thinking wanted to talk about 60 West. This is not 60 West. That development is, different. This is basically, Bellevue Avenue and the AT&T side of Bellevue Avenue really has deteriorated over the years. And there's like a tree has been removed because evidence that the large tree has been removed. There's 2 distressed trees there that are dangerous.
Is
So
this,
you're talking about
excuse me,
hazardous trees.
is this in the parking lot?
No, this is not the parking lot. This is on Bellevue Avenue.
On Bellevue Avenue?
So a lot of attention was given to that. That's West Avenue, new parking lot you're talking
Oh,
about?
yeah, that's what I was.
That's West Avenue, and they did put trees there. They made it as nice as a parking lot can look. So you have to give credit to Steve, who's Narcini. Yeah, all the grief I give him, they did a good job there. So I have one request, and then I have some clarification I'd like to get for the residents. So the residents, would like to have more trees on Bellevue Avenue. So there are these 2 hazardous trees on AT&T's property now. My understanding that they have been notified, and AT&T says they don't have the money to cut it down, which seems a little extreme. That they don't have, maybe not this year's budget, but whatever. I mean, that doesn't seem like a legitimate excuse. So anyway, I'll just like the request that the township be more assertive in the role to ensure that the hazardous trees be removed in a timely manner. I know the township can be pretty aggressive with some residents about their property. So I'm surprised they're not a little more assertive with AT&T. So that's my one request. And I also would encourage, my understanding is that if those 2 trees were removed, that there would have to be 3 other trees to put in to replace them.
That's incorrect.
That's incorrect?
Correct. If it's a hazardous tree, there is no compensatory replacement.
That's not true.
Not if they're-
Not on a commercial property.
Not if they're dead in a hazard.
If they're commercial, they have to replace them, and especially there, because it's the Wayne overlay
The
district.
Wayne Business District.
Oh, it's a Wayne overlay. My fault, but I forgot.
Okay, well, that kind of leads me to another.
But I think it's.
I want to talk about the Wayne Overlay District kind of separately.
One per one, right, depending on the size of the tree?
So what is it?
Lee, is it 1 per 1 in the Wayne Business
I don't
District?
know, I assumed it was the same 6 to 1, but we can double check that.
Depending on the size, maybe?
The overlay does. I think it's a little bit more for the overlay.
These are heritage
Yeah, they're
trees?
big trees.
So it's 6 to 1 or is it 3 to 1? 6?
It depends on how many on the property.
Oh, okay. So anyway, so I would say, or they can put money into a fund in lieu of that. So my request is that the township, this committee or someone else, the code or whoever else, puts a little more pressure on AT&T to get those hazardous trees removed, especially since the township now has a parking lot that they specifically say they want people to be walking from that parking lot to Lancaster Avenue and down to West Avenue, and they're going to be walking right into those trees. And I would like to also say that if AT&T does cut those trees down, that do they only have can they decide whether or not they can plant trees there or put in the fund, or is that something that this Shade Tree Commission has to? I would like to, let's say, how should I brief? I'd like to encourage the township to work with AT&T to replant the required replacement trees on site rather than solely using a fee in lieu option, because I think the site has deteriorated.
I will leave that up to the township and what the zoning, whoever takes care of that, and what the ordinance would say. But of course, we'd always like to see trees planted.
I mean, I'm assuming we have jurisdiction over those trees?
Yeah, I mean, the first parts that were mentioned, I've never seen a hazardous tree report for those trees. You said they were hazardous?
Yes, last time I was here, I was told that AT&T has already been notified that those trees were hazardous and should be cut down.
By who?
Didn't you mention that? You had sent a letter to AT&T already?
No,
And they
I
did
haven't
not
talked
respond?
to AT&T. I talked to the two-way arborist who inquired about it because they were going to take the job on to cut the trees down. And they asked me what the policy was, and I told them that because it was a commercial property, they had to appear before the Shade Tree Commission.
So no letter has been sent to AT&T and they didn't respond? Okay, so I don't know, this is what I thought I heard the last time, so. Anyway, but those trees should be identified as hazardous. Have you seen them?
I have seen them.
And they're not hazardous?
I don't make that determination. I would have to call the arborist out, and he would have to determine that they're
Okay,
hazardous.
so I'm requesting that then. How can that be requested?
I have to look into that. I'm not sure how that works if you just,
Well, how did you get this list of hazardous trees on your agenda today?
Homeowners call in, I think, and they request.
Well, I'm a homeowner. I'm calling in, I'm saying that there's hazardous tree on my street, 2 big ones.
So what is homeowner that actually lives on the property? But I would recommend, if you guys don't mind, could you call Mr. Rice and just say, a resident called complaining about a tree, or not called, but showed up to the shade tree, and see what can be done next. I assume he'll say, ask John to go to the place, and then you'll find, I don't know what the ordinance is if somebody complains about a tree. I don't know what the law is or whatever. So.
yeah, I mean, if it's anything like the ordinance states, how we deal with trees on private property, like they would have to, we'd give them a timeline to take them down if John deemed they were hazardous. And if they don't take them down, the township takes them down, and we have to get our money back. So the other
Gotcha.
part that he wants in the end is trees planted there. That is still their issue. So you want trees planted there. I don't know how the township is going to force someone to plant trees on their property. They do not have to plant trees on their property,
Well, you're saying they have a 6-to-1 ratio.
and they could pay a fee in lieu of. Even
So
here,
that's
it is
their, okay, that's
their-
my
their
question.
decision. Yeah.
They can say, we'd rather just give you the money.
Yes.
And then that could go to the Willows or wherever you guys decide.
I-
Okay, well, that's good to know.
And I understand the ordinance did change probably about 5 years ago where you only go up to a certain point.
And that too, so great point. So with that ordinance, we only get involved in trees that affect public property. And when we say public, it has to be a bus stop, it has to be a stop sign. It can't just be a tree that can fall into the street. We be chasing trees all over the township. So even with those 2 trees, they are not a bus stop, they are not at a stop sign. So that's the jurisdiction.
There's a stop sign there.
It's a stop, I know where the trees are, it's not.
Not close enough?
No, it's not, no, it's no.
But I still would, if you don't mind, just asking Mr. Rice, just for some
No, I'll-
clarification, just since he's a resident.
So, I don't know what to say. I've come here, every time I come here, I leave more confused. because I hear different stories. But I guess another
I think Ricky tried to, or somebody asked.
I've gotten a
had
couple
contact
emails from Ricky,
before.
yes, I
You had
have.
a contact, Ricky asked you to have you, ask him to send a request for trees, I believe, right? There's some guy, Mr. Rick or something that,
Morrison.
I think his name is Mr. Morrison.
Mr.
That's the one,
Morrison.
that's the contact.
I know
that
there
he
was
gave me.
something going on, and I don't think there was any request given to you, right, for trees to be planted?
No, he was, in order for the trees to be planted, those trees have to be removed. There's no room to plant any trees with those two big heritage trees right there.
Gotcha.
So the thing was, let's get these trees down first and see if they had the appetite. They said they don't have the money.
Okay. So since
Well-
it's gone on for a while and you're saying they're hazardous and they're close to the road, whatever, if we could just clarify with Mr. Rice to make sure we're doing everything for the public safety. If you guys can't do anything, then nothing can be done.
Okay.
The second request, you had said you wanted more trees along Bellevue.
Well, I'm trying to
when you
clarify
first
about
started? Just for that area or for the other residents? When you first came
that
up?
side of the street.
For that side, just that side?
That side of the street.
Okay.
So that's why I'm trying to, I have a couple questions about that. So does the Shade Tree Commission recommend residents or property owners plant trees in the area, like between the sidewalk and the curb on Bellevue Avenue? Would that be a recommendation? Would that be something that,
I don't think that's a recommendation. I don't think you,
do you object? I mean, it's not a recommendation, but it's something you wouldn't recommend?
how much space is there?
The
between the
sidewalk's
sidewalk
not,
and the curb?
that strip of grass is
So
not big
there's a
enough
strip,
to
I
put a
wouldn't,
tree.
as an arborist, I wouldn't
Okay.
recommend planting any trees there.
Okay. So then,
As Frank, or Matt calls it,
Because it's-
the hell strip, yes. And nothing's gonna live
just-
there.
okay. So I want to ask about the fact that that property is in the Wayne Business Overlay District, and the trees that are planted like along Lancaster Avenue, who's responsible for those plantings and maintaining those trees?
I'm
In
sorry, I
the
was looking
Wayne
at
Business Overlay District, which
The
that
township.
property, the township does that. So that's kind of like the residents feel like that AT&T building is in the Wayne Business Overlay District, but it never gets the attention that the other parts of the district gets.
I don't know the answer to that. Maybe it's because they have parking areas in front of them? I don't know. And the parking areas are metered and.
There's no
township gets
parking
money.
lot right there.
No, you're talking about in Wayne
Oh,
Business
yeah,
area.
oh, Lancaster Avenue.
So
yeah.
those trees that are on Lancaster, North Wayne Avenue,
So that's
township
through the
takes care of them.
township manages those
I don't know
planting on Lancaster
what the
Avenue?
difference is.
It's not through the Shanghai?
And AT&T said they have no money to remove or replant?
Right, they
Is that
don't
an
object.
email or
They-
conversation, or can we?
By phone, they've said that they don't object to tree planting all along Bellevue Avenue, and as a matter of fact, I didn't bring it with me, but there was at one point a plan to plant a bunch of red buds in that area. And they didn't object to that, but they didn't want to pay for it.
Now, are they two oak trees?
Yes.
Next to a parking sign, these two trees?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the
Another way
tree.
to go about it, Mr. Ricky and Mr. John, another way to go about it, are they if they were in the right of way, just like these other trees were? They're not in the right of way. Oh, they're not in the right of way. Oh, okay, gotcha, never mind. So they're not, okay, I thought they were all, no.
These are not street trees, these are interior property trees.
Oh, gotcha,
If it's on the right of way, they've already been damaged
gotcha.
or managed.
So once something's not in the right of way, that's what we changed the ordinance for. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
changed
got-
it years ago for these type of situations.
Gotcha.
So,
So that's what makes it probably, the other trees that you're talking about in Wayne that the township takes care of are in the right of way.
Okay,
These trees are not, is what I'm being told.
okay.
Ron, have you reached out to AT&T personally?
Yes,
What have they, what kind
they
of?
said they have no objection to trees being planted on the property.
Did they say they would pay for trees to be planted on the property?
No, they don't want to pay for trees.
They won't pay to have them removed. They won't pay for taking them down or replacing them. No money.
I've never spoke to them about taking them down. That I heard from Mr. Foster.
yeah, I mean, if those trees are not doing well or whatever, like, we have no power to make them put trees on their property. We won't use taxpayers' dollars to do that. It is purely up to AT&T. So if they say, like even what he said no problem planting trees, but they don't want to plant them. So at that point, we can't put trees on private property even with their permission.
Right. Well, there's a couple other efforts that I'm looking into. One is the so-called pedestrian improvement fund that they got as part of the 60 West Avenue project that would go towards pedestrian improvement. I think street trees would be part of that. I think it should be. And the other is the Vision of Wayne, when they're asking for what people want. Some of the residents on our street did go to those meetings and did ask for street trees, which could be planted on the AT&T property, but not paid for by AT&T.
Yeah, that's a great choice. I mean, Mr. Gibbons is in those meetings. I'm in those meetings. So yeah, please, use that as an opportunity to, I guess, voice that opinion. And I'm not sure where they are with the planting trees aspect, but they're collecting all the information of what all the residents would like.
So that's why I came to you to kind of see if you were going to plant trees, what would you recommend for Bellevue Avenue? That's what I'm trying to get out of this commission.
What would I recommend?
If you have a plan, then we could find the funding, I feel.
Well, I think you need to, like, they said there's no room to plant trees
That's not true.
where the big trees are.
You
You're
can't
talking
plant them
about the
right
other
on
side?
those trees, all along the whole street.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they're
okay.
planting them on private property. I don't know.
Okay. So,
I don't know
well, I
which way to
came
go.
and asked for your help, and I got some information, so I will keep pursuing it. It's government, so.
Maybe. Yeah, or maybe send a letter saying that these trees are hazardous and one day they're going to fall on our kids or something. That may.
Okay, I will, because I was under the understanding that the township had already done that. But it must have been a misunderstanding about who didn't respond. I guess you said the arborist didn't respond. I thought you meant AT&T didn't respond.
No, I talked to they
So that must have
hired
been-
I don't know if they hired a company or not. The company called to inquire what they would have to do, but did
So
not
no
follow
one ever
back up.
said that they've already been notified and didn't respond. Okay.
They were on the agenda a year or two ago to have them hazardous tree report, but they never took it down.
Yeah, well, they didn't come back in, right.
What was that? They were on the agenda for hazardous trees?
That was a different AT&T's.
Oh, was it?
Different AT? Okay, could be. Okay.
Ron, I have a suggestion. I'm not sure it's going to work, but have you tried filing a report with the Pennsylvania Utility Commission? So
No.
they are, yeah,
Yeah.
PUC, they work very hard as sort of like a liaison with the public. I had to use them for 2 different things, and they're very responsive. So that
Okay.
might be something to try. Go online.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Do that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention when you were talking about how do you report a hazardous tree, so the township has a really good app, and they have service requests that you can click through, and you can say a service request, create request, trees, and they go right to the township. So
Okay, but that won't help on this situation, right?
I don't know. FYI.
Okay, all right,
But they
thank
will
you.
talk to Mr.
I don't think I'll be back.
Solicitor, I guess.
All right, thank you.
Sorry, and thank you. Okay, no other public comment. Okay, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? All in favor? Thanks, guys. Bellevue